Hey, what's up guys? This is Mac and Toast, here bringing you a quick game that I played just recently. It is Undead versus Night Elf. I bring in a lot of Undead games, but it's my favorite race, so if you're an Undead player, it's the place to be. Alright. Alright, so it's on Twisted Meadows. I'm gonna talk a little bit, so I'm gonna pause this jump. I'm gonna pause my music. Okay, so here we go. So basically what I do is quick DK, take fog off, and I'll put it in my view or whatever. I'm playing under the name Paul. I was smurfing. And so, yeah, I put it on my view. Get it on that fast DK out. This guy's going for a sort of like, standard Night Elf jaunt, and he's gonna end up doing a Ancient of War creep right here, which was really risky, and he ended up getting the experience, but I'm not gonna spoil it all for you. Sort of underestimated me in that sense, so I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Alright, because I'm not so good at the computer audio thing. So I'm getting my rally spam on, look, going 345, 345, 345, and then adding rallies and stuff, because that just looks so cool when you do it. You gotta warm up those hands, of course. So I'm making my Death Knight, and I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm going for a sort of standard, well, my favorite kind of undead build. So, and this guy was random, so I wasn't sure that he was Night Elf yet. So I scout this way because you always want to scout, especially if he's random. You want to scout this direction because you can check if they're doing, if a human is doing a creep on that factory. And so I scout, see he's not there, and immediately I see this wisp, and it's about that timing. So I keep this guy scouting because he's already queued to scout, but I pretty much just send my Death Knight over. Making ghoulies, they chop the wood and give me resources. And here's his Ancient of War. He's gonna do it with 2 wisps, and it's doable, definitely, but it's risky. So he underestimated me, especially because I was a smurf. Oh, this guy was like 80% or some shit, and I'm like, I would consider myself like 60% since I got a lot better, but I don't know. So maybe he's just a an abuser. So fast EK, check here, no Ancient War there. I had already gotten vision of that. Yeah, I checked there, not creeping there. So I'm like, where is this dude? Is he even gonna be creeping? So I see no Ancient of War here or hero. Okay, give quick wisp kill. I love doing that. It just looks so cool. And so I suspect that he's doing this, which is risky in its own right. And so I'm thinking of how to do this, because I know it's risky, but I still have to like go at beating it properly. So I was gonna go for killing the wisp, so that way his Ancient War gets taken down. But then the Forest Troll Warlord switch attacker, so I had to try to get the Warlord. So he ends up getting the kill, but I end up getting the robe. I was trying to get the last hit off, so I like delayed my last attack, but his archer, and I didn't factor in the archer, so his DH got the kill, but I still got the robe, which ended up being really useful. So now I'm just saying, okay, I'm gonna draw back. My DK is low as hell, and now my DK is even lower, because I was gonna go back, maybe harass some wisps, but I'm like, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna kill my DK. So I just stack my DK right now. I get 170 gold, get him back in 17 seconds, right, for like 170 gold. It's much better than having a low ass DK that you can't do shit with, because that's like personally, that's the best way to heal your hero. If you're undead, if he's level 1, just go ahead and do that. So put up my graveyard a little bit before tier 2, or a little bit before halfway to tier 2, and put up my crypt there. I was gonna put the crypt at the same time as the graveyard, but I forgot, so that was a little poor on my part. Put up my third ziggurat, and I'm just preparing. Now I'm gonna be using my ghouls to creep because I need to stay at least on par and level with him, because, well, that's not so true, but I still want experience. You can't just go around with level 1 DK all the time and then expect to just beat the night elf. So he's creeping here. He's doing what night elves people do, I guess. I am just getting my tier 2. Gonna start building gargs. Gonna be trying to creep this one out. So he's ahead in that he has level 3 now, but I'm going to be doing a lot of creeping, and I especially have to creep because he got way ahead because he did that orange the merchant camp. So I had to stay at least one level below. If that's the case, when you're undead versus night elf, you have to stay one level below. And here is DH tanked a lot, so I don't know if that was a mistake or that's just because he didn't have his Ancient of War. It makes sense. So getting my scout on with all my skelly warriors. So what I'm expecting him to be over here right now. So that's why I send my skelly there, and I can see tier 2, but not really much yet. And I've already started building gargs, and I have the first attack upgrade. And I think it's, if you have I think it's maybe 3 or 4 with the first attack upgrade, it takes 2 waves of attacks. So here I see him creeping that. I'm thinking about going to try to kill that DH because it's low, but I decided not to because I don't even have level 2 coil yet. And back to what I was saying, the gargoyles, I'm pretty sure 2 waves of attacks with the 1 upgrade, if you have 4 gargoyles, makes for a wisp kill, which is really nice, especially when I'm on close spawn. And so I send those gargoyles over. What I have is gargoyles on control group 1 and these guys all on control group 2. So now I have level 3. I'm pretty much just, all I really need to do is send these ghouls back and just use my Death Knight to help harass at the same time as my gargoyles harassing. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Gargoyle harass. What it's going to do is it's going to keep him in his base, because the only thing he can do to stop it is his archers, which are pretty effective at that. But besides that, I'm going to be getting bunches of wisp kills, and he's going to lose time, and he's going to have to he's going to lose lumber, and he's going to either have to go straight for my gargoyles, right, and stay in his base, or he's going to have to force up Ancient of Wars, which can take forever. But it looks like he's gotten me pushed back a little bit. But see, Gargoyle is still pretty strong, and I was about to have a level 2 coil off on that archer, but I couldn't get it. But either way, he decides to focus my DK, which was a mistake. Should have stayed on their gargoyles, because I get a free archer right there. And then I'm just going to send my gargoyles over, check to see if there are any wisps, and it turned out there weren't any more wisps. My DK is still low mana though, so I should have coiled before I had even gotten to that archer. That was a mistake on my part. And so now I'm just going to use these gargoyles to scout. Not really much you can do behind that base. It'll just get them angry, and you don't want to lose any gargoyles or too much life on them either. So really just laying low, and just I expected a expo here because he was going two Ancient of War is pretty standard, but I still expected the expo there because Night Elves always love the expo. And so here I killed that wisp, so now he can't expo when he wants. He has to bring a wisp, and now I'm just gonna creep with those gargs, and then so that's gonna keep giving me experience. That's what, because you can't just go and expect to destroy this army with just gargs. It's not gonna work. especially not with like 5 or 6. You need to keep on building the gargs and keep on building some ghouls at the same time. You should already have the amount of ghouls you'll need for the decisive battle right now, because you shouldn't have been losing too many ghouls. And here I'm killing these guys at the same time as I'm going to be creeping with these guys, so my DK is going to get level 4 after this, so I'm going to be staying on experience par. And so I see he's got about 4 dryads and 3 archers, relatively strong army, and I'm there. I got that wisp. That was a scout wisp. I don't know if it's beneficial to always just coil a wisp, but I do it just because that's 75 gold down the drain for him. That's not as much lumber he's gonna get. That's a little bit of experience for me, and I'll just end up regaining most of that mana. And a lot of the mana I'm not gonna have anyways, because of his mana burn screws you over. And so I was just focusing on, you know, just playing smart. So yeah, so here he goes for my base. This wasn't so smart on him just to go right for my base. Not because he wouldn't have been able to take it down so much, or not because he wouldn't have been able to beat me in a fight, but I can just turtle, upgrade 2 spirit towers, and I'm good. Now my mouse is screwed up. Now I'm gonna make my Lich King. And really, this army right now, he can attack my main, but eventually these towers are going to go up, and he's not going to be able to do anything. And so, I've got Ghoul Frenzy now. He almost got that keeper surrounded. So I'm just making sure I know what I'm doing, staying clear, and if I'm in my base, so be it. My slaughterhouse is a bit late. I don't actually end up making anything from the slaughterhouse. I didn't need to, but I should have put it up right at tier 2 or right when I made my Lich. And at the same time, I'm still doing gargoyle harass. So I got one more wisp here, and then I back off. But one of the reasons why he attacked me was because he wanted to because he knew my gargoyles were over here, and so he wanted to pick off my army aside from the gargoyles, but doing that at my base wasn't going to work so well, because what had happened was, I just want to talk a little bit before the big battle, because the game's about over. What had happened was, yeah, I could just stay in my base, and he wouldn't be able to pick apart my army, even though his was sort of stronger, and especially without my gargoyles. So here he's going to try to do that at bit, but he gets his DH caught into a bad position a little bit right here. Got some damage on the DH, but we'll see what happens. The controls are gargoyles on 1, everything else on 2, and you'll see how I queue up the attacks in a sec. But I see, I'm gonna draw him in a bit, and soon he's gonna mistakenly screw up with his demon hunter, and that's gonna not even cost him the game. It's just gonna put a lot of damage onto his demon hunter. And so I build one crypt fiend, because just to be sort of counter to the dryads. I saw he only had 3 archers, so there's no point in making any more ghouls, because the amount of ghouls, like 1, 2, 3, so like 6 or so ghouls, is gonna be able to really hard counter all those archers. So make a fiend just so you can do well against those dryads. And so here his demon hunter is getting really low. What I could have done is I could have surrounded his demon hunter, but I chose not to, because his army is in a really bad position, and I can do tons of damage to his army right now. So, and instead of surrounding the demon hunter and attacking the demon hunter, and he just TPs out and all's well, and he just heals up his demon hunter on the moonwells, what I do is I just go ahead and shift click all the dryads with the gargoyles, because dryads take extra damage, and then shift click all the archers with the everything else, and then I just end up destroying his army. So he's forced to split his army apart. I just tear it apart, and it's my first statue. And I don't even go for his DH now. I just go for his KOTG, because I know that his KOTG isn't gonna have a TP. And then he's all discombobulated, and I just end up coiling his DK, or his DH rather. So there's GG, and a good game indeed. Maybe less skill than me, or maybe I just played really well, but I don't know. If it's not a pro game, whatever, screw you. I was proud of this game. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'll put like music in the description, because I got tons of chill music, chill obscure music, right? Alright, see ya.